Okay, so here's Slick Willie talking about supposed life found in a Mars meteorite. A, they don't know where the meteorite came from. They're just theorizing that it came from Mars. And B, the life on Mars could have come from Earth. When you have a giant asteroid impact, it hits so hard, like this is a representation of Mars. Pretend this is the Earth. It hits so bad, it shoots it up, just like they say it happened to Mars. Here they're saying that a chunk of the red planet got knocked out from Mars and made it to Earth. Well, let's think about it the other way. So let's do the reverse panspermia, which is a proper term for what they're talking about. So it hits Earth and it goes to Mars, and whatever life's on Mars is stuff that's come from Earth, and they've worked out the math. Mars would have gotten several tons, and it would have even gotten to some of the moons of Jupiter and even a few to the moons of Saturn, a little bit. Now, what could have survived the trip? If you look up creatures called tardigrades, or also called water pigs or water bears, they would have survived that, as along with other microorganisms, extremophiles. And here's we're going to Mars. Well, we're never actually going to go to Mars. Right now, we can barely get anything into low Earth orbit, and it costs about $9,000 a pound to get stuff into low Earth orbit right now. So all the things you see, these are all CGI, make-believe stuff. We're never going to land human beings on the planet Mars. We can't even go to the moon. The moon landings are all fake. Stanley Kubrick faked them. Most everything from NASA is fake. Now, remember, they've supposedly had this rover on Mars, and the Martian atmosphere has immense dust storms, but no rain, supposedly. Supposedly, all the water is caught up in the cap here with frozen carbon dioxide. And they do admit now that there's a few geysers, but the water can't form into rain because the atmosphere is too thin. Well, here's the deal. The Mars rover's been up there for a long time, and it hasn't, the lenses haven't gotten dirty, and the solar panels are still, that power it, are still clean enough. And you know this, if you have solar power cells on your house, unless it rains, if you're in a desert area, which Mars would be considered a dry desert, and there's no rain to wash them off, or your car gets dirty in the desert, you know it doesn't just automatically get clean. You have to wash it off. Well, there's nothing to wash it off. Now, if you do a search for a humanoid shadow on the Mars rover, there's a picture on the ground. It's a shadow of something that looks like a man behind the Mars rover with the sun behind its back. And what that is, it's a technician up in Devon Island. Devon Island is the largest unoccupied island on Earth. It's owned by Canada. And Google Earth snagged them faking it up there, and then after they got snagged, they said, well, yeah, that's we're up there training because that's the only place that looks like we're training because that area looks like Mars. Well, they said that after the fact. They didn't say it before the fact. So there's no place in the United States that they could train that looks like that. But also in the background, you'll see a lemming up there. There's a famous, do a Google search for rodent on Mars, and it's a lemming. And not only that, the lemming has a stripe on it. And the lemmings that are endemic to Devon Island have that stripe. So it's all faked. And think about it, if they were faking, if there isn't some place in Arizona or Idaho or Utah or New Mexico that doesn't look like that, they could have put that out there and had people watching it and selling t-shirts. They could have raised $10 million doing that, but no, it's a lie. That's why they went to Devon Island. It's the largest unoccupied island on Earth, and all this stuff that NASA does is fake. It's make-believe, just like this. It's all make-believe. It's all CGI. The International Space Station is up there, but there's nobody in it because it's too hot where it is, and there's no way to dissipate the heat. Look up the works of Bart Sabrell, and I've got more on timbosplace.com about the fake moon landing. And Stanley Kubrick faked the moon landing, and NASA gets busted with CGI all the time. Thank you.